Episode 29, Mining Pools.
Interested in Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is a very vague concept to a lot of people.
Need to know more about cryptocurrency?
We're going to talk about the basics. You know, this is something that people just have no idea about what crypto is.
How about buying, selling, and mining?
Tony, I think that's one of the things that's going to make us a little different from some other shows.
We're getting our hands dirty.
Then listen to Gary Leland and Tony Sakala, better known as the Crypto Cousins, on the Crypto Cousins podcast. This week's price.
This week's price of Bitcoin, $10,890. That's up $174.10 since last week, which is 1.6%. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Gary Leland here.
And this is Tony Sakala.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Another week has gone by, Tony. It's time for Crypto Cousins Podcast.
We're all over the place now.
We're all over the place. Boy, it's been we got a busy week this week, you and I do.
Yes, we do. We're on the radio. We're doing that satellite launch. We're doing all kinds of things.
We're also checking out a location for Crypto Cousins. I don't know if we call it a conference or a workshop or what we call it this fall. So we're checking out a location for that. So,
yeah,
what we call that, Tony?
I would say we'll call it event.
Event. That's a good word. Crypto Cousins event. But we'll have more on that coming up soon. I did want everybody to know that I have a lot of people asking how they can help us all the time. People send messages all the time. I was thinking about that driving my car this morning. I don't know why. I guess I'm always looking for help. I always need help, Tony. And I tell you how people can help us, especially the people in our Facebook group. And this is the easiest thing I can think of. This is actually easier than giving us a 5-star rating on iTunes, which everybody needs to do, Tony. So this is so easy. Next time you're in our Facebook group and you see a post where I post the episode, I post all the episodes there, Tony, right?
Right.
So next time someone's in the group and they see I've made a post about an episode, share it somewhere. That's like the easiest thing. All you got to hit the button on the bottom right. It says share.
Share. Mm-hmm.
So share it either on your page or I tell you a good place to share it is in like a big Bitcoin or crypto group.
Mm-hmm.
Because I share them and they almost all get approved, so people know it's good content. But if I share it more than 6 or 7 times, I can't post in any groups for a week.
Oh, so Facebook,
they only let you
like you to share, but not overshare.
Share the groups so many times till they go, you might be spamming people, and maybe I am spamming people, but they all get approved. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure if I can get every cousin sharing once to a crypto group. So I guess basically, Tony, I'm asking everybody to spam. Now that I think about it, I'm asking everybody to spam Facebook groups.
Share. If you share once, it's not spam. If you share, 1,000 times, then I think people, it's all how you look at it. One man's valuable share is another man's spam.
Yeah, I guess if you're like not sharing on your friends' pages or going to a page about HGTV shows and sharing it. If you're just sharing it once in a crypto group, maybe you're okay. So everybody needs to make their own call on it. But that would be helpful. If 800 people shared it on 800 groups that had 100,000 people in each group. What's that, like 80 million people? I mean,
we're getting up there.
Yeah, that would definitely get it up there.
Great idea, Gary. Well, I guess I haven't been as aggressive a marketer because I guess you don't know how much is too much until you get banned.
Right, I can tell you.
Facebook jail.
I can tell you, and then you're there for about a week. So I do about 3 to the ones that I know every week, approve them, and I get likes from the people in there. Because after a while you get to go, okay, these guys like it. I get lots of likes in here and stuff like that. So I share it with those 3. Also, I want to let everybody know about the site is almost up, Tony. I don't know if you've seen it. We've got a good bit of it done. It'll probably be finished today for Arlington Crypto. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, especially if you're in Arlington. We got a little Arlington chapter of Crypto Cousins meetup kind of thing going here in Arlington. So I should have that finished today. So if anyone's in Dallas-Fort Worth, go to arlingtoncrypto.com. And I'm doing something new, Tony. You know, I've been doing on Wednesday mornings, morning coffee with Gary.
Which is really important because if you have a whole day named after you in Arlington, I'm sure that the Arlington residents want to meet you.
Yeah, but they want to know what I'm doing all week. So, yeah, if you got Gary Leland Day, you got to tell everybody what you're doing all week. So I decided to change that, though, from morning coffee with Gary to crypto coffee with Gary.
Oh, I like the alliteration, crypto coffee.
I'm big on that. That's my deal, is that kind of stuff. I don't know why I like those so much. So I'm changing morning coffee with Gary, where I just rant and rave about I don't really rant and rave. I just talk about whatever I want to. But now I'll be talking about crypto in the morning. I think I'll be doing that on Wednesday mornings at like 8 o'clock Central or 9 o'clock Central or something. But that's coming up, so get ready for crypto coffee with Gary. So what's going on with you, Tony? Anything new?
Well, I've been studying the altcoins, as you know, and I think there's a lot to be said for looking at the altcoin space because it's while a lot of the coins are kind of weird, but I think sometimes in the weird is what we can find some wonderful. So my research will continue on, and we'll hear about it in a future show.
Excellent. Yeah, I think we've got us in a new coin. If you don't know, Tony and I do a lot of stuff together because we're the crypto cousins. But, you know, everybody's a crypto cousin. We're all cousins in crypto.
Yeah.
So, hey, I want to thank those who do help us financially with our Patreon account, or donating to the cause. We're hoping to raise enough to go to some overseas events or cover some giant events. I got a free ticket to one in New Jersey. So we got invited to one in New Jersey. I didn't even tell you. I didn't tell you. Yeah, oh, that's exciting. Well, that's a possibility. I got a LinkedIn opportunity and invited me to speak in Moscow. Wow, Moscow! I need to work on my LinkedIn page. I never go there. I need to. Well, I have to get back to them because I'm not going without Gary. You can't just fly me out to Moscow without Gary. Well, we're going together. Well, I told him. I said. I told the one in Atlantic City. I said, we both were invited to one in Atlantic City. Okay. I'm not quite as high. I just said, really, we need someone. We need some help from you, dude. If you want us to come out there, we need more than a free ticket. We need a booth. We need maybe a hotel. Those hotels are free if you're having a convention that size. They give you a ton of rooms. So that's true. That's true. Yeah. Well, we definitely need a penthouse. Yeah. So I told them. They told us they'd get back to us. Okay. But like I said, I would appreciate everybody. We have Patreon donors I'd like to thank. And just people who donate cash. If you are sitting around on your computer, not while you're driving, go to cryptocousins.com/donate. Or we started having a lot of people sign up on our Binance affiliate link, Tony, at cryptocousins.com/Binance. Binance is taking off. Yeah, and that's a good way to support the show because if you're going to use Binance anyway, you might as well use our affiliate link at cryptocousins.com/Binance because we get a little. We don't get a lot, but we get a little bit every time you use it. So if we can get a lot of people using it a lot, it could mean something. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is refer one whale and you're all set. Yeah. You get one whale in there that throws 1,000 Bitcoins in there. I would think they'd already know about it, though. So we need 1,000 minnows, probably. Minnows. Okay. That's probably better. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably going to be better. and I'm not giving this up, Tony. I'm sorry, dudes, the regular listeners, but I'm not giving this up. I'm still looking for a Bitcoin sponsor. I want a regular show, not a company. I want to be the only show sponsored by some person, a guy or a girl. So one Bitcoin gets you one episode a week for a year, 52 episodes. So I want to be able to say this show is sponsored by Susie. That's not some big company. So I'm still Don't give up on it. Don't give up on it. Gary. I'm not giving up. I think it's an impossible dream, but I'm not giving up. No sirree. Hey, have you heard this of this rapper called Rice Gum? I haven't followed Rice Gum, but tell me. Well, I'm not a follower of Rice Gum or rap, to be honest with you. My kids like rap. They're in their early 30s, but I don't like rap at all. But that's beside the point. I go to YouTube all the time and watch basically what's come out during the day about Bitcoin or crypto. You know, it's like instead of watching the evening news, I watch YouTube for about an hour. And when I got back from San Diego, I was there all week at Social Media Marketing World speaking. I was on 2 panels out there. And like a ton of stuff in the feed is rice gum and Bitcoin. I'm going, I've never heard of rice gum, but it's this young kid I can see from the picture. So I go to it, and it's a rap song with Bitcoin in it. So I'm going, oh, these guys are really all excited about him talking about Bitcoin. You know, must be a lot to do with Bitcoin. So I listened to the whole song, and which was really rough for me.
To have to listen to,
yeah. And I'm sure my parents hated it when I listened to Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath or something.
Black Sabbath, exactly.
Yeah, so
those are my 2 favorites too.
Are they really? I've seen
Zeppelin,
Black Sabbath, but I've never seen Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne was with him on the Paranoid tour. But anyway, here's the whole lyrics about Bitcoin.
You gonna sing it?
No, I'm gonna. Well, they don't really sing it, don't they? Don't they just like jazz it?
It's like it's kind of they rap it.
Yeah. And I probably would get the tune wrong. So I think I could rap it, but I think I'd get the tune wrong. Or whatever it is. I don't know if it's really a tune, but the melody or the whatever it is. Here he goes. He starts out, and this part of the song, it's about 3/4 of the way into the song. I just started to invest. Now this fit on me costs a Bitcoin. You ain't getting no checks. Record labels taking all the big coins. You can hit 100 million, a little bitch. Oops, I probably should have said that. Oh well, you can make 100 million. Blink, blink. I'm making big noise. Little girl with the attitude, you're a meme. We just gotta laugh at you. Ain't even really mad at you. Honestly, I feel bad for you. That's it. Mm-hmm. So he says the word Bitcoin one time, and that's I just started to invest. Now this fit on me costs a Bitcoin. You know what that means? I just started to invest. Now this fit on me costs a Bitcoin.
I think that's talking about his, what he wears.
Yeah, his outfit. His outfit costs $10,000. Mm-hmm. But I can't believe he has one line. The point I'm making, he has one line. He mentions the word Bitcoin once in this song, and my YouTube feed was filled with rice gum singing about Bitcoin. I mean, he just mentioned Bitcoin in the song. What does that say about how wild Bitcoin is what I'm getting
It's good marketing. Well, it's like the Long Island Blockchain Company, right?
Yeah, Long Island Blockchain. So I thought that was just interesting. The song had really nothing to do about Bitcoin except he's saying, my outfit cost $10,000. But the whole feed was filled with this song because of that. Another thing I noticed was that China is now blocking crypto exchanges on social media. That was this morning's news on CoinDesk.
If you're a China regulator, your job is to block stuff. So I must say.
You know, I heard someone talking the other day. Someone who's running for political office, and I can't remember what the subject matter was, the exact subject, but they were saying, that we didn't do it, and we knew it wasn't worth doing. China didn't do it, and neither did someone else. And I was going, well, that would probably mean it's a good sign, isn't it? If China's not doing it.
Right, exactly. That means, hey, it's too dangerous for China, then it must be important.
Yeah, and I even messaged her and I said, China doesn't let you have Facebook or Google or free
They're all
press.
good stuff. Right.
So why would you say, I even said that. I said, I didn't understand your comment. That makes no sense to me. That's the first time I've Facebooked someone who was running for political office. And she messaged me back that that's not really what it meant, but that's what she said. So, Chinese regulators are reportedly blocking social media accounts held by cryptocurrency exchanges that still offer services in the country. According to the report by Calxin. Okay, and I looked up Calxin. I don't know what it is. It's all in Chinese. It's all Chinese to me. But the authorities have shut down the exchange channels on China's dominant social messaging app, WeChat. While the company has denied interference by regulators, Calxin said it's confirmed that the WeChat censorship is a result of tightening official oversight on platforms that still offer cryptocurrency services to Chinese investors. So they're only shutting down about exchanges that are in China, but That makes you kind of wonder, could they do that here?
Well, what, China or U.S.?
No, U.S. Could
Yes,
U.S.
U.S. Well, can you? Well, that would be really interesting, right? So if they don't like what you're doing, they don't like your business, they'll shut down your Twitter handle or your WeChat handle, or I guess I
Facebook's
think
already shut down ads about crypto.
right. Yeah. So it's creeping. We're on the slippery slope. Facebook shutting down ads. So I think that's it's very interesting. We need to move to a decentralized social media platform. I think things are coming. I think it was a cousin John mentioned the other day this new social media decentralized Twitter platform, Twitter-like platform.
I remember that. I remember it. Yeah, we need that because that's what got me thinking about it was the fact that I saw this China shutting down stuff on social media, and then I saw Facebook shut stuff down. Basically, Facebook shut down stuff on social media about crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some similarities there. To me, I don't.
Well, censorship is censorship. So it happens all the time. I think when a government does it, it's bad. When a company does it, that's their platform. So you can just shrug your shoulders and say, fine, we're going to go somewhere else and talk. And that's what's happened. I mean, how many people have Discord servers now, and they're using the new thing, and Telegram is getting more popular. I think Facebook is definitely lost its shine.
Well, speaking of those two, if you like Telegram or Discord, you can find those by going to cryptocousins.com/Telegram or cryptocousins.com/Discord. And we have some moderators in there. I don't know if we have one for Telegram, so we need a moderator or an admin for the Crypto Cousins. I never use either one of those, so they're kind of like I just check in once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're spread pretty thin.
Yeah, we're spread pretty thin. Luckily, we have a lot of cousins that are admins everywhere helping us out. Hey, remember the other day I messaged you and I said, hey, Monero passed Dash.
Yeah.
Now it's up to number 9. And so it's in the top 10. So it's really been going kind of gaining a lot of momentum. And I didn't know why. I like Monero, and I'm holding Monero in all openness. But I saw this last night that Monero has a fork coming on March the 14th called Monero. I couldn't tell if it's Monero or Monero V. I don't know how it's actually pronounced.
Or Monarov, kind of like a Russian.
Monero with a V is the last letter. I couldn't find it with a space between it. You know, if it had a space, I might have thought it was Monero 5. So it could be a lot of things. But Monero with a V on the end is having a hard fork on March the 14th. And if you have one Monero, you get 10 Monero V.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool, I guess. And if you want to find out more about that, go to monerov.org. But the thing is, supposedly Monero...
Well, I'm definitely checking it down. When are they going to do the snapshot? There's a time when they do a snapshot,
the
blockchain. Okay, I got to check that out. Because then you just make sure you have some Monero.
April 2018. No, that's something.
This is roadmap version 1 hard fork split March of 18.
I don't know when they're doing the March 14th is the hard fork. I don't know when they're.
Oh, here we go. Block. Oh yeah, March 14th. It says Monero holders prior to the hard fork split will receive the 10 times holdings. So block 152,981,0. Block 152,981,000. We have to start thinking in blocks now.
I'm not getting many of these damn splits, these forks, Tony. You're
not getting them?
Well, no, I haven't got anything since Bitcoin Gold. I mean, and I know there's been several. I hadn't got any, because like the last one, you had to take your coins and put them somewhere. On that Bitcoin private, I didn't want to take my Bitcoin, transfer it off, and go do that.
Yeah. Definitely, there's a risk there because there's a lot of scammers out there like, hey, here you go. We'll give you this and send us your private keys. And you send off your private keys, it's not pretty. If you're going to put your private keys into something, be sure you've downloaded it from the right GitHub. You've checked the SHA-256 signature, all that kind of stuff from it's really important to make sure you don't try to get a little bit of something and then lose like all of your holdings.
Well, it says that Monero is infinite and Monero V will be limited.
Huh. Oh, that's
Do
interesting.
you know much about that?
I'm just learning about it now.
Yeah, so I've heard that before. Monero, there's like an infinite supply of it, which I don't really understand. How there could be.
So
an
it's
infinite
not
supply.
deflationary. Oh.
No.
Okay.
So I'm curious. I've got, as cousin John says, John McAfee, if you're gonna buy a monkey, you got to use Monero.
Yes, you got to use Monero if you're going to buy a monkey.
So I've got some Monero, stocked up in case. Now I wonder if you want to buy a monkey, if he'd say it's okay to use Monero V.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I'm thinking it's going to be even more secure and reliable.
Well, I'll have 10 times as much Monero V, so I could buy a whole clan of monkeys. I don't know what you call a group of monkeys, but I could buy a barrel of monkeys. I mean,
a barrel of monkeys.
Open my barrel and all these monkeys come out.
Well, Monero V looks very interesting. It's going to be fully scalable by integrating the Mimblewimble protocol. We don't really talk about Mimblewimble much.
Well, we haven't talked about Mimblewimble much. And I'm familiar with it, but I need to do more research, and I've heard it explained, and I haven't studied it enough to have that all memorized, so we probably should make notes to have a show note.
It's interesting stuff.
And also I want to make sure everybody knows, it may be too late, but if you haven't, you need to go check episode 26, where we interviewed CEO from Synapse AI. Because on that show, he gave the address for an airdrop for free Synapse AI tokens, 300 tokens. So if you get a chance, go listen to episode 26 of our show, Crypto Cousins podcast, and check out that link, because maybe some tokens still left. I just don't know. But at free tokens, who can combine?
I mean, there's nothing like a free token giveaway. I mean,
what other business can you be in, Tony, where people just give you money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. People just give you money. So... And I really reamed LightPay, Tony, on episode 25, I think. So
I recall.
Yeah, you wouldn't join the ream in there, if I recall. But I did want to give people an update. First of all, that's at lightpay.us. They changed, now it says to get started, email registration on LightPay, and eligibility subject to know your customer and other requirements. And I received an email to fill out for a store, being a store. So they have started processing applications to accept LightPay, even if they aren't letting people pay with LightPay yet or take applications for LightPay cards. So I'm not going to read all of this, but basically it just told me that they're taking applications and blah, 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 blah. But they are doing something, I guess, is the main thing. And in an attempt to keep this as quick as possible, I'm going to skip that. So I'm glad to see they're doing something.
Well, fantastic. Well, that's good news. Any move in crypto is going to have some sort of reaction, in the regular financial space. And so credit card companies coming down with, what was it? What did they say? Aggressive action against them. It was quite aggressive, and they had to really rethink what they were doing.
You want to listen to a voice question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, this is from cousin Anthony. And if you have a question or a comment, I can't believe how many there were in there this morning, Tony, getting off subject. Our number is 747-779-471. I can't believe how many voice questions there were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people love to call in. It's great.
Yeah,
call in.
But it was way more than normal.
Yeah. Well, so, we're growing.
Let's listen to this message from cousin Anthony.
Hey guys, this is Anthony. I'm just down the road down in Austin, Texas. I was just listening to the listener question show, and you had a guy ask about the chip card. So I just got one recently, and like Gary, I haven't wanted to actually spend Bitcoin on anything, but I did take it to an ATM, and when they send you the card, they give you a default PIN number. I called them up and changed that, moved some Bitcoin over to a Coinbase wallet, took the ATM card, and I was able to check the balance at the machine, and it did show me my Bitcoin balance in US dollars, so one could make the reasonable assumption that if you're able to see the balance at the ATM, you should be able to withdraw the money, and likewise at a store. I'm sure it would have worked just fine. So anyway, I just wanted to let your user or listener know my experience.
Okay, it really wasn't a question. It was more just information, I guess, which is cool. We tell people to call in with anything. So, yeah, I'm like him. I haven't used my Shift card either, which costs you $10 in Crypt Bitcoin to get a Shift card.
Hey, but you could say you're a card holder.
But I bought that when Bitcoin was like $19,000. Huh? So I did cash in some Bitcoin high.
Mm-hmm.
So I can always say I cashed in some when it was at its peak. But yeah, I think the concept is good, the Shift card. And if anyone's interested in the Shift card, just go to shiftpayments.com/card. And I'll have that in the show notes also for you. But yeah, I use it more as a prop, Tony, whenever I'm talking about crypto somewhere. Mm-hmm. So now you and I are starting to talk everywhere about it. We're getting invited to talk at a lot of places. Someone asked me the other day about something in Puerto Rico going on. I mean, I know we mentioned this earlier, but a lot of stuff's starting to happen, and I use it as my prop. Like, when people, and even when I'm talking to people, they go, "How do you spend that stuff? Can you get your money back? What do you do with it?" Then I pull out my Shift card, and then that kind of shuts them up. I don't have to get into all this exchange and stuff. I can just say, here, I use this credit card and I can spend Bitcoin anywhere I want. Oh, really? So it is a good thing for that.
You have a lot of props, Gary. You have your Bitcoin socks, too.
I have a new pair of Bitcoin socks my daughter got me for my birthday last week. So I have two pair of Bitcoin socks now, a black pair and a gray pair.
Oh, well, that's good to know, because I see you wear them a lot, so I'm glad you're able to switch them out, launder them.
I am able to. Hey, so if you have a voice question, please send us to us at 747-777-9471, and let's go to an email message from Cousin Rob. Love the show. Greetings from the UK. I've heard that Ethereum is moving from proof of work to proof of stake. If I understand correctly, mining proof of stake requires far less work, and therefore fewer miners and mining equipment. What's going to happen to the Ethereum mining gear when they make the switch? Will the market be flooded with secondhand GPUs, or will everybody switch to Bitcoin and other POW currencies, causing difficulty to rise and profitability to fall? Cousins, please help me work this one out. Many thanks, Rob from York, UK. Well, Rob, thanks. We always love getting international messages. We'll take them from down the street, and we'll take them from international. Okay, Tony, there's a lot here that Cousin Rob just doesn't, and some here that Rob just doesn't understand. First of all, he's not going to switch from Ethereum to Bitcoin.
Right. So here's the thing. You know me, I'm not going to mince words. The whole Ethereum moving from proof of work to proof of stake, I'm calling BS on that one. Vitalik has been talking about it for a long time. It just doesn't make any sense. If you really want a decentralized coin with immutability that you can't reverse transactions, proof of work is the big breakthrough that Satoshi Nakamoto brought to solving the Byzantine generals problem. Just having something in a blockchain, which is just a big database, doesn't really mean anything. The proof of work is actually securing the funds. So that's number one. But let's just say that Ethereum goes to not even far less work. It goes to no work, and it goes to proof of stake. Ethereum mining gear is GPUs. It's not ASIC. And so you have hundreds of coins that will use the GPUs. And so there'll be a blip. People will move to other coins, and they'll be mining Zcash, Zencash, Hush, all kinds of coins, Raven coin. Really, there's a lot of choices, but I think that the idea that Ethereum is the big biggest player and that they control a lot of the market. Every day they're losing market share to the altcoins. So I'm pretty bearish on Ethereum.
And also, Rob, just so Tony said it, but just so you understand it, I'll put it more easier terms because Tony browses over stuff sometimes.
Let's rant. Sometimes I rant.
Yeah, but Ethereum uses GPUs. Bitcoin uses ASICs miners. You can't mine Bitcoin with GPUs, number one. So no one's going to switch over from Ethereum to Bitcoin. So I just wanted to address that. Number two, if that was to happen, which I agree with Tony, I don't think all the miners are going to go for it. First of all, I don't think they're going to be too excited about losing, all their work. But if they did, and your question is, will we be flooded with secondhand GPUs? I would love that, and so would all the rest of the miners, and the gamers. Everybody would love it if that would be the cause, or the result. If Ethereum going to proof of work, there would just be floods of GPUs. I hope they go to proof of stake. If that's what's going to happen when they go to proof of stake.
Exactly. And the end of
stake.
That's right. They should just go to proof of stake. And that's
it. Do it. I think it's a great idea. That's probably the best idea I've ever heard of. Hey, thanks for your question.
Thanks, Cousin Rob.
Yeah, appreciate it very much. Tony, I knew we were going to go over long. We're at 30 minutes and we haven't even gotten into the subject matter today.
Oh, man.
So let's just skip everything else and jump straight to the subject matter.
Right.
We're going to talk about mining pools, and you're going to be the leader on this discussion, and you're going to educate me on mining pools. So let's go. What's the scoop? Because I know we're using them, but I don't know that much about them. I barely look at them. That's your deal. You're the mad scientist here.
So what's interesting about mining pools is that they make mining possible today. If the basic history of mining pools is that in the old days, Satoshi Nakamoto and his friends, they had their computers, they had laptops. With a CPU, you could run the Bitcoin core, and it would generate its own coins. You could just run basic software, and as more computers got involved with mining Bitcoin, and then subsequently the altcoins, then those computers would solve the problem so fast that instead of a new Bitcoin every 10 minutes, there'd be a new Bitcoin, like every 10 seconds or so. It would be coming out. They would be coming out too quickly. The factory or the mining factory would be moving too fast. So there's this concept, and it's not easily understood, but it's called difficulty. And difficulty is the challenge, the mathematical challenge that is given to the miners, and that moves up and down based on the software. And the goal of that is to keep the coins rolling out every 10 minutes or so, or 1.5 minutes for some coins and 2.5 minutes for other coins. So to keep the coins on schedule, the difficulty changes. So what happened with Bitcoin? Everyone got excited to start mining it, and thousands of computers, millions of computers started mining Bitcoin, and the difficulty went up, and it got to a point where you couldn't mine it with one computer. Then you had to mine it with a GPU and a graphics computer. So people started buying graphics cards. They were spending $200 to buy a graphics card, and they were hoping to get their money back at the end of the month or by mining Bitcoin. And there are threads back in Bitcoin Talk forum that people are saying, I don't know if I'm going to ever get my $200 back. I only mined 38 Bitcoin last month. And you're like, oh, what is this guy talking about? He mined 38 Bitcoin. He mined 38 Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was less than $7, So that's where people were at. This is just like the birth of mining. It was really an exciting time. Now, fast forward to today, you can't mine Bitcoin by yourself. You can't mine most of these coins by yourself. That's called solo mining, where you take your miner and you point it to a node and you just start mining, and you find the block and you get the entire reward. The reward for Bitcoin today, 12.5 Bitcoin. Every 4 years it halves, so it'll be 6.25 Bitcoin in the future. Let's say you're mining Zcash. Today it's roughly, 12.5 Zcash or 10 Zcash. I guess 10 Zcash every 90 seconds. So the reward is difficult to get with one computer. So that's the invention of mining pools. Mining pools are where people come together. They all mine on one pool giving their computer power, their 1,000th or 1/10,000th of the entire pool's power is your computer, and you share in the reward. So instead of hoping that you'll get a block reward every day or 2 days, you'll get a tiny reward every few minutes. So that's where mining pools come from. The largest mining pool right now is the Ant Pool, which is run by the company Bitmain, which pretty much is in control of most of the Bitcoin mining and the mining hardware. You can find a list of mining pools at miningpoollists.com. And there are mining pools for almost every coin. Most of the coins are GPU based, so you can look for those and find the coin that you like and go to Mining Pool Lists or Google the coin that you like. And when the coin is listed, generally, like, CoinMarketCap will have a link to their website, and typically right on the website, it'll tell you where to mine the pool, where to mine the coin, which pool to go to. So we use Flypool because we like Flypool. It's been very good to us. We use Mining Pool Hub. We use Zpool. We use several others. And we're not pool hoppers, but we're using these different pools for different reasons. One of the biggest pools, if you would call it that, was NiceHash. NiceHash was hacked last year. They lost, was it a $500 million? Was it 500 million? It was a lot of millions. And so a lot of trust has been lost in NiceHash, but NiceHash is a place where people point their miners to, and they get paid regularly, but that's more like a market. So someone's buying your hashing power and you're getting paid in Bitcoin. But generally, you go to a mining pool, you point your miner to the mining pool, and it pays you regularly based on your shares, how much your hashing power you will generate shares and give them back to the mining pool. Was that a good explanation, Gary?
I think so. You went through a lot there.
I went through a lot. I wanted to go through a lot.
So basically, I mean, what you're really saying is that by using a mining pool, everybody's working as a team.
Working as a team, exactly. The cousins are coming together. You're working as a team. You put in whatever you've got. You got one GPU. You got two GPUs. You got just a small little rig. It doesn't matter. You'll still get paid. You get paid very little. You'll get paid. Maybe you're only making a couple bucks a month.
But with one GPU, I could be mining for a year before I get anything.
Exactly. So with one
competing
GPU,
against thousands and thousands and thousands of other GPUs.
Exactly. And one of the websites that can give you a sense for how solo mining doesn't work anymore is Solo Mining Calculator. I put the link in our notes, and you can pull up Zcash and you can say, well, how many solutions per second am I doing on my cards? Your average card might be doing 300, 400, 500 solutions per second. And it'll tell you, how many months it would take to find one Zcash coin, how lucky you'd have to be to do that. Would vary, but on average, it would take a couple months. So you go to a pool, you contribute that way, and you can get paid every minute, every couple minutes, but just a little bit.
Well, we tried something. I know that you were, because you handle all that. Well, we were doing a little bit of solo mining, trying that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we checked it out. We didn't get anything.
There you go.
I see. I can see why. As I went to the solo mining calculator, and given the amount of power, so to speak, that we had, or hash power, it was going to take about 3 months for us to find one Zcash, and so really we would have to be very, very lucky, even on the solo mining pool. The solo mining pool is run by 2miners.com. That's the number 2 miners.com, and they have a blog which we're linked to in the show notes, and it's a great blog because it really covers a lot of details, like what is solo mining and how to set up your GPU and how to build a GPU mining rig. And so those guys have a really interesting, they have a regular Zcash mining pool and they have the solo mining pool. And so you can just point your miner there, and if you happen to find it, you will get the 10 Zcash coins. Actually, 9.85 or something. They take a tiny percentage.
So is that very hard to set up?
There are instructions all over the internet. You can download the software if you're running on Windows. It's just like download this, run the installer, download that. It's not that hard to do. You have to set up some batch files. If you're kind of a techie guy, it's pretty straightforward because everything's laid out for you. Copy, paste, make sure you put your credentials here or there. Like some mining pools have credentials, like Mining Pool Hub, you would put in your username. Other hubs, they're running just with your address. You put your address in as your account number, so to speak. So it's very easy. But the easiest, if you've got a PC, is to use Awesome Miner. Awesome Miner, you can Google that. Awesome Miner is a Windows app. Lets you run 2 miners for free before you have to go to the higher levels and pay. So you can check it out. It works really well. And by 2 miners, I mean 2 mining rigs. If you have multiple cards, it's still it will work.
That's a pretty
count as one. It's very pretty, yeah. It's point and click. You download it, and you fill in a few blanks like your address, like where you want to get paid. That's the important thing. Fill in a few places. It checks out your PC, sees how many cards you have, downloads all the drivers that's needed, and does it all with a point-and-click interface, and has a dashboard, and it tells you how much money you're making per day, how much money you're making per month, depending on what your choices are. And you can just turn one of those awesome miners of the 2 into what's called a profit miner, profit switching. And the profit switching works. You just say, hey, I want to make the most money. Here are the mining pools that I want to be at. And it'll calculate every few minutes what's the best coin to mine, and it'll switch you over to that algorithm. And so you'll always be mining the most. It's hard to chase down, manually chase down what coin's going to give you the most. But this app does it for you.
So if you're mining, just like I got an old laptop over here, and I want to use Awesome Miner, is it like any laptop can do it, or a laptop, or it's got to be within like 2 years old? Or
this is a trick question. You mentioned laptop and mining in the same sentence on Bitcoin Talk, and the whole page starts to blow up with flame. Like, they're like, your laptop's going to go on fire. You shouldn't even think about mining with a laptop. And people just get very, very, very. So
you shouldn't mine with a laptop, or is that just people going crazy?
It's your laptop. You can mine with your laptop. It's your laptop. Go ahead and mine with it. People freak out. If your laptop's going to mine, it's anything you use for mining. It's going to run hot. It's going to run 24/7. So it's your asset. You can do what you want with it. And I saw a mining rig yesterday on Son of a Tech, and it was 96 Dell laptops.
Oh.
It was obviously kind of an art project because they were beautifully laid out in like a rack with like 20 different shelves, and they were all sitting there with their lids closed. And obviously this guy had, picked them up from either a pallet of them were being sold somewhere, or he's worked at a company where everybody traded in their old laptop and got a new one. And he took them and lined them up, and he was mining. I forgot what he was mining. It might have been Monero, running Monero uses the Crypto Night algorithm, and it can run on laptops and CPUs.
Well, let's say I have to buy a computer for the office over here, and I'm going to buy just a regular computer, not a laptop.
Regular.
And at night, I want to use that computer. So I could just use this Awesome Miner, use my computer that the company already has, and start mining.
I mean, it would be not worth the electricity unless you had at least a decent graphics card, at least one decent graphics card in it. Otherwise, you may be spending more in electricity than than you'd be making.
Okay.
So you'd have to look at that. But, even a decent graphics card, NVIDIA makes a whole line of cards that nobody can buy anymore. The 1080 line, the 1070, the 1060, the 1050 are all out of stock, as we've shown. We've got pictures on our Facebook page, Facebook group. Just shelves and shelves are completely empty. But you could probably pick up a 1030. 1030 will mine roughly 10 times worse than a 1080.
Well, I'm going to go ahead while we're thinking about this. It's not on the subject, but today's date is March the 6th. And we have some 1080s that we're getting rid of.
1080s for sale.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
So I'm just going to put this on here. I don't remember what we are, but I think we have. Here it is. I'm just going to let everybody know. If anyone wants any of these, email us at thecryptocousins@gmail.com. We have 8 1080s for sale at $700 each. So might as well see what happens.
See what happens. Put it out there. This is a great opportunity for someone. We're liquidating the old 1080s. We're not just because 1080s are in huge demand and people are selling them for twice as much as they bought them. We're not doing that. We're just moving on out. We're trying new things. We've had our couple mining rigs that we put together, and now we're playing around with new things. We're trying some different, going in different directions.
And we have 4 1070 Ti's too.
Those are nice too. Yeah,
let's see, what are those at $650? So if anyone wants any 1080s at $700, our 1070 Ti's at $650, email thecryptocousins@gmail.com. And it looks like the oldest car purchase date of what we're getting rid of is December 21st. So they're not really old cars.
We started buying cards. I think there are a few in late November. When we started buying these big cards just a few months ago.
Yeah, the late Novembers are the 1050s and 1060s that we have.
Okay.
Yeah, the 1050s are $350, and it's like, if I'm reading that correctly, $360, and the 1050s or 1060s are $250.
$250.
And then the 1050 Ti's are 720 divided by 4, so what's that? 160. No,
180. 180, 360, 720.
So if anyone wants any of those, just email us, and first come, first serve. But I don't know that we'll sell any, but just letting you know about that. So getting back on the subject, so if you're going to mine, basically what you're telling everyone is join a mining pool, because you're really just going to be wasting your time.
I mean, it sounds exciting to do solo mining, and the guys at 2Miners make it easy. 2miners.com. You can look at the mining pool, and it's fun to watch and see how much hash power the different people have, and every couple days they do hit someone from that mining pool. So you're in a mining pool that's solo mining. So that's a little different than solo mining all by yourself. When you're in a pool, so they're taking care of like hooking you up to the different Zcash nodes and all of that, and they're taking care of some of the details, and you're paying them 1.5%.
Well, and also let everybody know we're not being paid by anybody here. We're just talking about.
We're just talking about it. Yeah, we're not pumping or pimping any mining pool. I find most of them are good. They're mostly developed by tech people who love the tech, and they're out to make a mining pool can make about 1 or 2%. That varies. So the entire pool, no matter what people are mining, makes 1 or 2%. That's how they do it. They just take a small cut. Some running at 0%, like to get started. And so I have no idea how profitable that is, but you can imagine it could be very profitable to make 1 or 2% of everybody who's mining.
Anything else? We're way over time. Anything else?
We're way over.
About mining pools?
Crazy.
That might be interesting.
I think we covered the basics. We're starting to lose people. I know. That's about it.
Well, okay. So that's mining pools. All the links to the sites Tony gave will be on the show notes. Links to everything we gave will be on the show notes. And also, I just want to make sure if you decide to go mining, go ahead and do it. We're not financial advisors. We're not telling you you're going to get rich. We're just talking about what we're doing here with mining. So, but do check it out, because we've been happy with mining. We enjoy doing it, and it's been very, very good. Been very, very good to me. So, as Greg Morris would say from Saturday Night Live, most people won't know who that is, but I hope you enjoyed today's show. Big thank you for listening, subscribing, and for the ones who've been leaving reviews on iTunes. I appreciate that. If you are listening to this on your iPhone, scroll down. Just stop what you're doing. Well, unless you're driving your car. Scroll down on the screen, hit the 5-star review, and give us a 5-star review. And don't forget to check out CryptoCousins.com/donate. Tony, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nope. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, everyone. And to all you cousins out there, I love you guys.
Thanks for listening to the Crypto Cousins podcast. Please share this podcast with anyone you know that is interested in cryptocurrency. Your friends can subscribe on iTunes at CryptoCousins.com/iTunes and on Android at CryptoCousins.com/play. If you want to know more about Tony or Gary, just go to TonySakala.com or GaryLeland.com. Make sure and join us on the next episode, and thanks for listening. The Crypto Cousins podcast and information in the podcast are not intended as investment advice. Cryptocurrencies are risky. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Always seek professional advice before making any investment. Investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies may present tremendous risks. Please understand that you are using any and all information available on or through the Crypto Cousins podcast at your own risk.